Hi, my name is Mitch Boyer. This is Nice Art Prints, and today I'm going to share two books that I think anybody who's interested in printing should own. That was a weird way to hold this book up. Hey everyone, I hope you're all staying safe, staying at home. I'm here in my shop, which is in the spare bedroom of my apartment in Los Angeles. When I first moved here, I was really itching to get my own shop space, and now, how the turntables. I want to thank everybody who's still ordering prints from the print shop. I really appreciate it. My day job, I work as a retoucher and a finisher on ad campaigns and movie posters, things like that. And obviously with all this, that has gone away because all the places where I used to go and work are now, shut down for the moment. So I appreciate all the orders you've been sending in. I also appreciate all of you that have been submitting your pictures for print. I've talked with a few of you this week, and I'm really excited about all the videos kind of coming down the pipeline. So some exciting stuff coming along. But today's video is a little bit more simple than other videos. It's just going to be, we're going to be talking about these two books. I've gotten a lot of questions from y'all about the books that I reference in my videos and what books I recommend if you're interested in printing. The two books that I reference the most are these, The Print by Ansel Adams and Color Management and Quality Output by Tom P. Ashe. These two books I think are important for two different reasons. The Print by Ansel Adams is all about the artistry of print and why you do things when you're printing. Color Management and Quality Output is more about the technical aspects of printing. So we'll talk about this first, and then we'll save the best for last. So yeah, let's dive in. Color Management and Quality Output is great if you're getting started and you just have questions about what settings should I have on my printer and what's the difference between relative colorimetric and absolute colorimetric conversions and how do colors actually work. All of that is covered in here. In fact, if you go to chapter 13 in this book is titled Inkjet Printing, and it's all about inkjet printing. In my paper videos, I've referenced this before, and you've probably seen some of these illustrations like this one, talking about the layers of a paper. A lot of great information in here about that. My favorite chapter in this whole book is actually the first chapter, because it's more about color theory and color science, how things work, and you all know I love geeking out about that stuff. For example, first off, let me say, I think Tom has done a really great job organizing this book into digestible sections. Not everything in this book is going to apply to you, but there's a lot of really good information. The first chapter is my favorite chapter, and that is one chapter I think is applicable to everybody. Before you start working with color and printing, you need to understand how it works. And Tom does a really great job breaking down the science, explaining the visible spectrum versus the total spectrum, how daylight is reflected on the color spectrum versus tungsten light. These graphs that he has, I think, are very useful. This deserves like a whole another video, and maybe we'll talk, I'll do a video on color science, how colors are actually displayed and why like something like a green tie isn't just green light, but it has other pieces of light in it. Even a little bit of basic biology on how the eye works and how the eye sees colors. Those kinds of things are super important for just understanding how the world works. I guarantee you, no matter how much you know about color theory, you will find something new in here that you didn't know before. And then of course there's also details in this book about like resizing and sharpening and all that kind of stuff. So if you're looking for technical information, this is your book. Now, for my favorite book on printing, The Print by Ansel Adams. This book is the finale in three books that Ansel Adams made: The Camera, The Negative, and The Print. You may be thinking, wait a second, like this, how old is this book? It's pretty old. And if you're working digitally, you may really be wondering, like, what are you talking about? Like how can this book on darkroom printing help me with my inkjet printing? I get it. I understand it. Especially if you turn to the appendix here and realize like, oh, a large portion of this book is Ansel Adams sharing his chemical formulas for developer in the darkroom. But that's not all this book is. In fact, the substance of this book is really about why you do things when you print. I have another video called Dodge and Burn Like Ansel Adams, and I kind of work through a lot of one of the chapters in this book where Ansel Adams talks about dodging and burning. And you can see him here literally dodging and burning in these pictures. You can see how it affects a print. And this kind of highlights something that I think is really important and kind of a pet peeve of mine. There's this fallacy that I see all the time in image forms and printing forms. It's this idea of like the pure print or the pure image, and it's that like once the image leaves the camera or once the film has been developed, like you should not touch the image ever again, which to me is just crazy because that's never been the case. If you read this book, you'll realize that Ansel Adams was not only an amazing photographer, but he was an amazing printer. And you can look through the book and read through the book, and there are countless examples of how he edited the photos in the darkroom by printing them with different chemicals or exposing them for different amounts of time. And I think this is very important because it not only shows you that, yeah, like the file that comes out of your camera or the negative that you've developed, it's okay to adjust it to get to your final vision. Now, if you're a documentary photographer and you're focusing purely on the story, are there limits to how far you should push it? Yeah, of course. But if you're a fine art photographer, a fine art printer, it's all about your vision, and you can do what you want to your image just like Ansel Adams did. And I think this book does a really great job of explaining why you should do certain things to your images and all that. I don't know, I'm kind of like just rambling on and on now. A couple sections in this book that I really enjoy. One of the sections I really love, check this out. So my like day job, I'm a freelance retoucher and finisher. So I'm working in Photoshop and I'm retouching. This is great. Let's check out this retouching here. Isn't that awesome? Like literally retouching with a paintbrush. Pretty cool. There's a lot of great information just on different processes. Not to beat a dead horse, but the real value of this book is that it gives you an insight to Ansel Adams' process. And anytime you can watch a master work in their craft is pretty awesome. Even if you don't fully understand 100% of why they're doing what they're doing, it's beneficial to watch and pick up and implement some of those things in your process. And then over time, as you do them over and over again, you start to understand the why and understand the process behind it. And then you can start to improvise and implement your own workflow. Anyways, these are the two books that I reference a lot. I'd say I probably reference the print more than color management and quality output. But if you're just starting out and you need to know the technical fundamentals of printing, this is a good way to kind of like get yourself moving. And then later on, you may be diving in more into this. If you have any books that you love about printing, please share them in the comments so that everybody can learn from them. I'll link to these in the description. While you're there, please like and subscribe. That really helps promote the channel, as you know. I'll see you guys in the next video where I will be printing one of your pictures. If you'd like me to print one of your pictures, follow me on Instagram at NiceArtPrints. Send me a message with your image. And yeah, that's it. See you next time.